Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're showcasing Hot Pocket's tournament run in their Forest Cup. Now for those that don't know, he was originally known as Pocket Midget, but I guess Niantic felt like that was inappropriate, so they changed his name, or he had to change it, and he changed it into Hot Pocket. So because that's his current name, that's the name we're going to be referring to him as. And let's take a look at his team. He's currently running Jumpluff, Ampharos, Mantine, Quagsire, Ferrothorn, and Blaziken, and his opponent in round 1 has Azumarill, Blaziken, Cherrim, Ferrothorn, Galvantula, and Mantine. So let's go ahead and see how Hot Pocket does in this tournament. And if you want to go ahead and follow him on Twitter, I will leave a link to his Twitter in the description down below, like I usually do if they currently have a Twitter, whoever I'm showcasting, right? So Ferrothorn gonna go ahead and go for the Power Whip. It looks like his opponent caught that Power Whip with Galvantula, so it was a nice switch on his opponent's end, but it still does a lot even though it's resisted because of how squishy Galvantula is. Galvantula does go for a Discharge. Ferrothorn gonna go ahead and fire back with another Power Whip. This should be enough, I believe, to knock out that Galvantula, but it does shield. Ferrothorn switches into Blaziken. Blaziken probably just wants to farm down at this point, if he's going to be able to, without another Discharge hitting. We'll have to see. I don't know if he's going to be able to. No, I guess not. Yeah, probably not wanting to risk it. Yeah, I kind of felt that. You know, I mean, that Galvantula could have possibly gotten to a Discharge. So in comes Mantine, and unfortunately this Blaziken does not have Stone Edge, but not going to be able to get to the Blast Burn anyway, so this charge attack, Bubble Beam, will be enough to feint that Blaziken. In comes Mantine, so it is a Mantine mirror match. Ferrothorn switching in, going for what I assume to be a Power Whip. Actually, it's a Thunder. Wow, that Ferrothorn actually carrying Thunder. Nice play on the opponent's end. I was not expecting that at all. Thunder able to easily knock out, right? Easily knock out Mantine. Power Whip not doing much to the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn going to go ahead and go for the Flash Cannon. This Flash Cannon not going to be enough to knock out the Ferrothorn. Ooh, it's like, okay, so the opponent's Ferrothorn is able to get to a Power Whip. This is going to feint Hot Pocket's Ferrothorn, and he's going to lose game 1, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and jump into game 2. Of round 1. So taking an early loss, but the round's not over. It's going to be an Ampharos versus a Ferrothorn, so we'll have to see how this matchup plays out. Obviously, the Ampharos does have access to Focus Blast, so Focus Blast going to be I don't know, it's probably enough to knock out Ferrothorn, to be honest with you. Power Whip doing a lot of damage. Ooh, Galvantula switching in, able to catch this Focus Blast. That was a beautiful switch on the opponent's end. But look how much damage it does anyway. It's like it doesn't even matter because of how squishy Galvantula is. So Galvantula gonna go ahead and go for a charge attack. It's going to be a Discharge, gonna be neutral to the Jumpluff. Jumpluff will go for Aerial Ace right now. Aerial Ace, again, gonna be neutral to Galvantula. Would have knocked out Galvantula, but Galvantula wants to stick around. Galvantula gonna go ahead and go for probably a Discharge. Jumpluff will shield that Discharge, wanting to hang out, stay around, right? Oh, okay, not going to try and feint it with Billet Seed. I guess it was a little bit too risky. One more Billet Seed probably could have knocked it out, but not wanting to go for it. In comes that Mantine, so Mantine will be hit by this Energy Ball. This is going to do a lot of damage to the Mantine, neutral damage, but it is a lot as well. So Mantine going to go ahead and farm down the Jumpluff. In comes Ampharos. Ampharos going to go ahead and shield this attack. It is going to be a Bubble Beam. Okay, lowering Ampharos' attack. In comes Ferrothorn, so Ampharos switches out into Blaziken. Definitely a great situation for Blaziken, but yes, that Ferrothorn does have Thunder, which will do a lot to a Blaziken. Not enough to knock it out, though. So it looks like this Blaziken wanted to farm down, not able to do so, not able to farm down. The Ferrothorn does get to a Power Whip, which will knock out Blaziken. In comes Ampharos. Ampharos able to feint down with Volt Switch. Oh man, this is so close. Mantine comes in. This Discharge is going to be shielded, no doubt about it, right? So Mantine does shield it. Ooh, he gets to another one anyway. He's able to get to another Discharge, and he's able to definitely knock out that Mantine. So really well played on Hot Pocket's side and able to win that one. So the next game, we have a Jumpluff versus an Azumarill. So definitely a huge situation for Jumpluff. However, of course, Jumpluff has to watch out for that Ice Beam attack. So Energy Ball coming out from this Jumpluff. This is going to do a lot of damage to an Azumarill. One more, and it's going to be able to knock it out. So, of course, the Ice Beam, if that opposing Azumarill has Ice Beam, Jumpluff will take it, though. Able to take it. It is double weak to it, but it's still able to take it. Jumpluff will go for an Energy Ball. Let's see if Azumarill shield. It does. Wanting to get to another Ice Beam. Trying to get to one so bad. Jumpluff does get to an Aerial Ace. Who maybe picking up the last shield or allowing Azumarill to go down. We'll have to find out. Azumarill does decide to shield, wanting to take a shield or knock it out with Ice Beam. Okay, Jumpluff goes down. I was kind of thinking he would shield, but nope, allowing it to go down because he wants to be able to farm up with Ampharos. Really nice play, because now this Ampharos can go for this Focus Blast, which is going to do a tremendous amount. This might even knock it out. Let's see. It does knock it out. Wow, that's a one shot. That is crazy. And then it could feint down that Azumarill. In comes Galvantula. Still has 2 shields. Hot Pocket definitely doing really well with those 2 shields. There's no way this Galvantula is going to be able to sneak through both those shields. So really well played on Hot Pocket's end to be able to win this. There's no way he loses this round. A little bit of lag, but it's really not going to matter. That's actually enough to knock out Galvantula. Wow, that Ampharos and Focus Blast just does so much damage. So jumping into round 2, game 1, it's going to be a Quagsire versus Cast Form, Sunny Cast Form. Okay, so the opponent's team is Mantine, Ampharos, Cast Form, Stunfisk, Heracross, and Ferrothorn. So they both switch. Now Hot Pocket has the Blaziken against Ferrothorn, so definitely a huge situation for Blaziken. It does take a lot. It's going to have to throw this Blaze Kick if it doesn't want to shield a Power Whip. Could have shielded the Power Whip and then farmed down, but yeah, throwing the Blaze Kick makes more sense, so he doesn't have to use a shield. In comes Stunfisk. Okay, so Stunfisk going to be better at beating Blaziken, obviously, but this Blaziken already did its job, trying to get off a lot of damage with Blast Burn, but it is shielded. So out comes a Mud Bomb. It's definitely going to be a Mud Bomb. Going to be enough to knock out this Blaziken just fine. In comes Quagsire. You can't really bring the Mantine. Not against the Stunfisk, right? So Stunfisk is going to go ahead and go for the Mud Bomb. Okay, I mean, that damage is pretty good. So this Quagsire going to go ahead and go for the Earthquake. This probably, I mean, I'm sure this is enough to knock out Stunfisk. Okay, trying to get to another one. Already took both shields, so just needs to get to one more. Quagsire will opt to shield this. Could have taken it, but doesn't want to lower its health any further. Trying to get to an Earthquake. He does successfully get to it, so as I said, should probably be taking out this Stunfisk, I believe. Yep, able to take it out. Earthquake is a powerful move. In comes that Cast Form. So the Quagsire definitely going to have a great time. Going to be able to shield this. It's going to be a Weather Ball, of course, but Quagsire should be able to get to Earthquake. Ooh, lagging a little bit, but still gets to it. Able to win game 1 in round 2. So really well played. Quagsire is a Pokemon we have seen a lot in the past before Swampert was released. But I think the more dominant Mud Boys nowadays, probably Swampert and Wishcash, but Quagsire is still amazing and still really great to see. So we have a Quagsire versus an Ampharos, so obviously an Earthquake would devastate that Ampharos. It's going to bail into Mantine. Quagsire going to go ahead and go for the Stone Edge. This is super effective to the Mantine. Mantine not going to shield, taking a lot of damage. Maybe the Mantine thought it would be an Earthquake, which wouldn't do much. So Mantine does get off a charge attack. It will be Bubble Beam, going to lower the attack of that Quagsire. Quagsire bails into Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn, let's see. This is going to be... It's going to be a Bubble Beam. Okay, not going to do much at all, but we'll lower the attack of Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn just going to farm up a little bit extra and go for the Power Whip. This is going to be able to knock out the Mantines, as it does. It does successfully knock it out. We'll have to see what decides to come in. Going to be that Ampharos, so you do have to watch out for the Focus Blast. Power Whip coming out. This is going to do a good amount of damage to the Ampharos. Ampharos protects itself. Now, Ampharos will get off a charge attack. It could be a discharge bait. So, do you call the bait? You do. It's going to be, not discharge, Thunder Punch. It's going to be that bait. So, nice play to call that. Is this going to be another one? It's going to get Ferrothorn low if it is. It is another Thunder Punch. Going to get Ferrothorn really low, but it's still able to take it. Unfortunately, the opponent didn't go for that Focus Blast the first time, trying to bait out a shield. This is definitely going to knock out Ferrothorn, even if it is a Thunder Punch. And at this point, obviously, it's a Thunder Punch. But it's still enough to knock it out. And in comes Quagsire. Quagsire just trying to farm down, going to commit a shield and just Mudshot all the way down. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Wanting to save that energy. Yeah, wow, that Quagsire is absolutely buffed and loaded. Gonna go ahead and go for the Earthquake. I didn't see what came in. It is that Ferrothorn. Okay, Ferrothorn comes in. Would have taken a lot from Earthquake. Wouldn't have knocked it out because it's neutral. Going for another Earthquake. Again, gonna do over 50%. Yeah, probably about like 65%, 70%, maybe 60%, something like that. Jumpluff comes in to catch this Power Whip. Fantastic switch on the Jumpluff's end. So just needs to get to this Aerial Ace. This round is definitely locked up at this point. There's no way. I mean, Thunder's neutral. Wouldn't have done much to a Jumpluff. That's not enough to knock it out, okay. But Jumpluff or Hot Pocket still has a shield, able to take this attack, even if it's a Thunder. It's a Power Whip. So able to take that and go for an Aerial Ace. So this is going to be enough to knock out that Ferrothorn. As it is. So able to win that game. Really well played. And jumping into the next round. So Hot Pocket already won, but still doing a game 3 because that's what we do in the Surf Arena Cup. So it's going to be a Shiny Ampharos versus Heracross. So, okay, I mean, they're both doing a lot of damage to each other. This Ampharos looks like it's going to be beaten before I could beat the Heracross, unless if... I mean, it depends on shields. If Heracross doesn't shield, this is definitely going to go down first. Probably will shield. It does shield, okay. So, Heracross... Well, actually, Ampharos getting to another Thunder Punch, so we'll have to see if the Heracross decides to invest his last shield. He does not, so Heracross will collapse, and we'll have to see what comes in. It is going to be that Cast Form. Okay, I keep on almost calling Cast Form Cherrim and Cherrim Cast Form. Kind of like Ferrothorn and the other one, Fortress, right? You know, that's what I do a lot. So Ampharos faints, and in comes Mantine. Definitely don't want to bring in that Jumpluff. So Mantine gonna charge up energy, probably go for Bubble Beam. This gonna be a Solar Beam. Okay, that's gonna be neutral. The Mantine doing a lot of damage. Ferrothorn comes out. This Ice Beam is going to connect, or well, it's gonna go into the Ferrothorn. It will connect, okay, and then bails into Jumpluff. So Jumpluff probably just going for the Aerial Ace. We'll have to see. So this Flash Cannon coming out, doing a good amount of damage. Jumpluff charging up energy, going for the Aerial Ace, and this is going to be neutral. Doesn't really do that much to a Ferrothorn, but it chunks away, so able to get back-to-back Aerial Aces. This Ferrothorn might allow it to go through. Yep, going to allow it to go through. Can probably get to another Flash Cannon. I imagine this is a Flash Cannon. Power Up is double resisted. It is. So going to get the Jumpluff really low. In comes Cherrim, or not Cherrim, Cast Form. Out comes Mantine. Mantine will be hit with this attack. It has to shield if it wants a chance at winning, because this would be enough at that range to knock out the Mantine. Okay, trying to farm down. Able to farm down. Still has an Ice Beam, but the opponent has a shield, so it really doesn't matter. Going for the bait. I don't think it matters. Let's see. Going for the bait. Ferrothorn shields, and it does collapse, but still won that round anyway. So jumping into round 3. The opponent does have Kingdra, Galvantula, Ferrothorn, Mantine, Torterra, and Sunny Cast Form. So very interesting to see that Torterra. Can't wait to find out what it does. So we have a Blaziken versus a Cast Form. And whether we're going to hit that Blaziken, I mean, it's resisted, but it still does a decent amount because of how squishy Blaziken is. Blaziken will go for the Blast Burn, doing a lot of damage, and probably could just farm down as it does. So able to beat that Cast Form. Counter just does a tremendous amount of damage. We'll have to see what decides to come in. Going to be a Mantine. Okay, so unfortunately, no Stone Edge on the Blaziken, but the opponent probably doesn't know that. Still not going to shield anyway. So Blaziken collapses, and in comes Ampharos, which can just farm down at this point. Doesn't really have to worry. I mean, if it has an Ice Beam, it would do a good amount of damage, but it doesn't really have to worry too much. In comes Torterra, switching out to Jumpluff. So that Torterra has Razor Leaf. So, we'll have to see what Jumpluff decides to go for, because both Aerial Ace, well, Aerial Ace I guess is super effective, and Jumpluff or Energy Bolt is going to be neutral. So deciding to go for the Aerial Ace, trying to get off whatever damage. Again, Torterra does shield it. A Razor Leaf's going to be double resisted to Jumpluff, not doing much at all to a Jumpluff. So Aerial Ace is going to be shielded again. This Torterra probably, even if it gets to a charge attack, as it does, Jumpluff will shield. Doesn't really matter. This is going to be a Sand Tomb. Again, going to continue to lower. I believe it lowers the defense, right? So Jumpluff will go for the Aerial Ace. That's going to do a good amount of damage to a Torterra, actually. So yeah, Torterra, definitely a great, solid option against the water types, but against a Jumpluff or flying Pokemon or grass types, it's not really going to do that much. So Bubble Beam comes out, lowering the attack of Ampharos. But this Ampharos just has to go for a Focus Blast, and this is easily going to knock out the Torterra. So Torterra collapses just fine, and that's going to be game 1. So jumping into the next game. So it's going to be a Kingdra versus a Blaziken lead. So definitely not a good situation for Blaziken. However, the counters still do good damage. Ampharos comes in, and it looks like that Kingdra is staying around. And so the Thunder Punch is going to go ahead and let's see if it connects. It does. The first one actually came in. And, you know, so Ferrothorn obviously afraid of Focus Blast, does decide to shield that. Now Ampharos is going to shield this Power Whip. That would have been enough, I believe. So, looks like Ampharos going for Focus Blast. It does go for Focus Blast, so this Focus Blast is definitely going to be enough to knock it out. It does not shield, not wanting to waste that last shield. So in comes Kingdra. So Kingdra just wants to, well, I thought it was going to farm down, but decided not to, deciding to throw that Octazooka to knock out the Ampharos. In comes Jumpluff. So Jumpluff definitely a good answer to Kingdra, although obviously that Outrage is still going to do a lot. So Jumpluff going to go for the Aerial Ace. Luckily, I guess he went for the Aerial Ace over the Energy Ball, but it's still not going to do much to a cast form. In comes Blaziken. Okay, we've seen this matchup before. Blaziken going to be able to take this Weather Ball. Not super well, but it could still take it. Another one will be enough to do Blaziken in, but Blaziken goes for, did he go for a Blaze Kick? He did go for a Blaze Kick. That will be shielded by Cast Form. Nice play. And another Blaze Kick coming out. I actually don't know if this is enough to knock out that Cast Form. It might not be, but another counter might be. It is. Okay, it is. So in comes Kingdra to farm down the Blaziken. Out comes Jumpluff. Jumpluff will shield this one up for sure. Probably an Octazooka. Yeah, gonna be an Octazooka, but that's okay because this Jumpluff is still... It still has enough firepower to be able to knock out the Kingdra with this Energy Ball. Kingdra is on the squishier end and able to win that. So jumping into the next game, and this, so okay, so Torterra switches in against this Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn gonna go ahead and go for the Power Whip. Going to do a lot. That's neutral to that Torterra. Switching into Blaziken. Blaziken just farms all the way down. Absolutely all the way down. Going for a Blast Burn against this Mantine. Gonna be resisted, but still gonna do a lot. Almost 50%, quite a bit. Blast Burn, a powerful move as we know. So an attack coming out, going to be a Bubble Beam. Okay, Bubble Beam, doing a good amount of damage, lowering the attack, able to feint down with Bubble on the opponent's end. So out comes Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn going to go ahead and charge up to a Power Whip and get it off. This is neutral. I didn't want to be hit by a Bubble Beam, that's why he went for the Power Whip immediately. So that's a good play. So an attack coming in from that Mantine. Going to go ahead and shield it. Okay, going to be an Ice Beam. Nice shield on HotPocket's side. So both of them switch. Quagsire has a huge matchup against Cast Form. Going to go ahead and go for that Stone Edge. Trying to get off a lot of damage to the Cast Form. It will do a lot. Cast Form will shield, so picking up the last shield. So obviously you have to watch out for Solar Beam from Cast Form. So not going to go ahead and risk it. This could be a bait, but you still don't want to risk it. It is a bait, but I still think the Quagsire gets to Earthquake before. Okay, going to go ahead and go for the Stone Edge. This should still be enough. Yeah, definitely beating it to that charge move. Nah, that Solar Beam would have knocked out Quagsire. So Quagsire going to go ahead and go for a Stone Edge. This is going to be enough to knock out that Mantine. And I believe that seals up the round, doesn't it? I believe that was the last round. I think we're moving into round 4. Yeah, we're moving into round 4. So the opponent's team is going to be Meganium, Ampharos, Mantine, Kingdra, Blaziken, and Sunny Cast Form. So, okay. HotPocket definitely has the lead with Ferrothorn against the Kingdra. So Ferrothorn does resist all of Kingdra's moves. Plus it's doing neutral damage, right, to Kingdra. So this is probably an Outrage. Nope, gonna be an Octazooka. Okay, Octazooka and Outrage are both resisted. Trying to lower Ferrothorn's attack, not able to do so. Cast Form switches in to catch this charge attack, so nice switch on the opponent's end. But out comes Quagsire to punish that Cast Form, although again, you have to watch out for the Solar Beams. Like, do you call the bait or not? I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely mind games at this point, so Cast Form's gonna go ahead and shield itself. I don't know. I guess you don't. You don't risk it. You don't risk it, right? Going to be a Solar Beam. So nice play to shield that on Quagsire's end. Going to go ahead and farm up a lot of energy, extra farming. So Quagsire does go for the Stone Edge, and this is going to be enough. Yep, no shield. Okay, probably couldn't get to another Solar Beam. That Quagsire went to Farm City. In comes Meganium, might as well go for that Stone Edge before Quagsire goes down. So probably not going to pick up the shield, unless if you think the Quagsire has Sludge Bomb, but I guess the Meganium didn't think that. So Blaziken comes in, Meganium switches out to Kingdra, and Blaziken just farms down. And so out comes this Blaze Kick, going to be enough to knock out Meganium. Meganium probably going to use its last shield as it does, otherwise it would faint. But Hot Pocket is in a beautiful situation. There's no way he can lose this game at this point. So Frenzy Plant not able to connect and just going for the Blaze Kick. And this is going to be enough to finish off that Meganium and win round 1. So really well played. I am amazed by all these fantastic plays. So sorry for the black screen, by the way, in between rounds. I kind of made a little bit of a mistake while editing. It doesn't affect the video, but I just wanted to point that out. Shouldn't happen again, but yeah, doesn't really affect the video though. So Ferrothorn versus Ampharos, you obviously do have to watch out for the Focus Blast. Ferrothorn cannot take a Focus Blast, going to be that Focus Blast. So correct shield on Ferrothorn's end, and just going to go ahead and farm down this Ferrothorn. Has a lot of energy. In comes Cast Form, switching out into Mantine. Cast Form spells into that Meganium. So Mantine does go ahead and go for the bait, the Bubble Beam. Let's see if Meganium falls for it. It does. So nice shield bait. Calling the shield baits, right? Able to get shield baiting. You know, it's fantastic plays on Hot Pockets, and I'm actually really amazed at these battles. So Mantine does go for the Ice Beam. This is going to be enough to knock out the Meganium. Let's see if it shields. It does not. So Meganium collapses. Out comes Cast Form. So Cast Form, I'm going to go ahead and go for a Weather Ball. This has got to be enough, right? It's got to be enough. I know Mantine is bulky and Weather Ball isn't the strongest move, and it's resisted, but it was low enough to be enough. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that Stone Edge. Going to be super effective to the Cast Form. Cast Form will shield itself. Definitely wants to get to the Solar Beam, but Hot Pocket still has a shield. Going to go ahead and safely use it on this attack. It is going to be a Weather Ball. I thought it probably would be, but he's still not going to be able to get to a Solar Beam anyway. So obviously you use that shield whether or not it's a bait or not. So we're going to be able to win the round, but jumping into Game 3. It doesn't matter who wins this since Hot Pocket won the first 2, but going into Game 3 anyway, Mantine versus Meganium. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Obviously, an Ice Beam is going to be devastating to a Meganium. Meganium will use Frenzy Plant, neutral to the Mantine. Mantine going to go ahead and go straight Ice Beam, not going to bait. He baited last game, it worked. Let's see if this works. Nope, Meganium is still going to shield. Ferrothorn switches in. I was surprised that Meganium wasn't going to switch out. Maybe he didn't bring a fire type with him. Earthquake coming out, doing a lot of damage. And now out comes that Cast Form. So Cast Form going to be able to catch this Flash Cannon. So nice switch on the opponent's end to be able to catch that move. Going to be resisted and farming down the Ferrothorn. I feel like I would have saved the energy of Meganium, switched into Cast Form. I feel like that's what I would have done. But it's okay. I mean, that was a good play as well on the opponent's end. So Weather Ball going to be shielded. Mantine wants to get off this Bubble Beam. Going to be super effective. It is a weak move, but it does lower the attack guaranteed on the opponent's end. So Cast Form going to get off a Weather Ball, which will be enough to knock out Mantine, as it does. So definitely knocking it out. In comes Jumpluff. Jumpluff trying to go for the Aerial Ace. I don't think it could farm down. Not with Bullet Seed. So Weather Ball going to be shielded. Yeah, you probably farm up, I guess, a little bit of extra energy and go for the Aerial Ace. Yeah, I guess that's what you do. So that Aerial Ace is going to be shielded. Okay, so the opponent wants to get to another Weather Ball, is able to do it. That looked like a CMP tied to me. Able to get to a Weather Ball. It really doesn't do much, to be honest with you. You can see how bulky Jumpluff is. I have a Jumpluff. I didn't invest in one yet, though. I mean, it's like, it's for the Great League. I just didn't buy a second move. But I definitely want to, because I've shoutcasted Forest Cup tournaments with Jumpluff, and it just amazes me every single time. So it takes that Frenzy Plant with ease, even though it was super low. So this Aerial is going to hit the Meganium, not enough to knock it out. Meganium on the bulkier end as well, but going to be able to get to another Aerial Ace, and this will be enough to knock out this Meganium, as it does. And in comes the final Pokemon, going to be an Ampharos, does farm down with Volt Switch, so Hot Pocket loses that game, but that is okay because he won the round. Jumping into round 5, so the opponent is running Ferrothorn, Cherrim, Blaziken, Mantine, Azumel, and Stunfisk, so really cool team. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Jumpluff going to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace attack. That will not be shielded as expected. In comes Mantine. Mantine wants to probably get to this Ice Beam. Out comes Stunfisk. Okay, not really a great situation. I mean, Discharge super effective to that Mantine. So Stunfisk will shield it. Doesn't want to take that Ice Beam at all. Would have done a lot. Stunfisk will get off a charge attack. It will be a Discharge. But you also have to keep in mind that attack on that Stunfisk has been lowered. And it's going to be lowered again. But Discharge is just still devastating to a Mantine because it's double super effective to it. Now, because of those double debuffs, this Mantine can definitely take it. But it still does a lot. Even without it, might have still been able to take it. It's hard to say. But it would have done, obviously, a lot more. So Ice Beam going to connect. That's not enough to knock out Stunfisk. In comes Jumpluff, able to pick up this Discharge, able to catch it. So nice play. Yeah, it is neutral, but we know how bulky that Jumpluff is. Out comes this Ferrothorn, so Ferrothorn going to go ahead and go for the Flash Cannon. Just needs one more Flash Cannon to knock out this Jumpluff. Jumpluff will go for the Aerial Ace. Going to be neutral, as we know, so another Aerial Ace not going to be hit yet. So this Ferrothorn going to go ahead and go for Flash Cannon. That will be enough to knock out that Jumpluff. That's okay. Hot Pocket saving his last shield. In comes Mantine. Mantine going to go ahead and go for this Bubble Beam attack. So this Bubble Beam is going to not connect. This Ferrothorn wants to get off another charge attack, wants to knock out this Mantine desperately. Mantine will collapse to this Power Whip for sure, even though it had its attack debuffed. In comes Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn switches out into Cherrim. Okay, so yeah, this Weather Ball is not actually going to be enough to knock it out, but it's going to do a lot. So Ferrothorn does shield it, cannot take it. Well, it can take it, it just doesn't want to take it. Flash Cannon does connect, doing a lot of damage. Another Weather Ball is definitely coming out from that Cherrim. So there's no doubt about it. This is definitely Weather Ball. It's the correct move to go for. Doing, as you can see, a tremendous amount of damage. Ferrothorn double weak to fire. It's a fantastic Pokemon for the Forest Cup, but it's still double weak to fire. But it's also on my Forest Cup team. I love Ferrothorn. So going to be hit by this Power Whip. That is not enough to faint, but one more will be able to do it and able to lose that game. So well played. Going to jump into game 2 of round 5. So let's see how this plays out. Going to lead with Ferrothorn against Mantine. Okay. A matchup we have seen plenty of times before. So this Ferrothorn just going to go straight Power Whip. It's going to be neutral. The Mantine could go Bubble Beam, could go Ice Beam or Aerial Ace. It depends on what it has. Looks like the Mantine is going for a charge attack. Probably won't be a Bubble Beam. It is actually. Okay, it is. I stand corrected. Going to be Bubble Beam. I guess you want to lower the attack on Ferrothorn. That makes a lot of sense. Ferrothorn will go for a Power Whip. It's resisted, not resisted, it's neutral, but it does less now. Looks like Ferrothorn wanted to switch but wasn't able to do so. The Mantine will go for another Bubble Beam, lowering its attack again. That Ferrothorn maybe wants to stay and maybe wants to switch. We'll have to find out. Ferrothorn is going to go ahead and go for this Power Whip right now. Not enough, not enough. But Mantine will go for a charge attack. Ferrothorn's going to shield this one. It's going to be an Ice Beam. Okay, that would have done a lot to the Ferrothorn. Got it super low. Maybe have even taken it out. Ferrothorn not risking the farm down. Going to go ahead and use the energy on this Power Whip to knock out the Mantine. In comes Azumel. Okay, so this Power Whip, if this connects, it's going to do a lot of damage. I mean, that Azumel is going to be weak to grass attacks. Okay, I mean, it didn't do as much as I thought it was going to, but it still did a good amount. So Azumel going to go for this Ice Beam, which will knock out the Ferrothorn, as you can see right there. In comes Jumpluff. So Jumpluff, another thing that's going to be strong against this Azumel with Energy Bull. Going to go ahead and opt to shield this Ice Beam. Would have been double weak to it. So charging up, going for the bait, going for the Aerial Ace, hoping to pick up the last shield from his opponent. Not able to do so. Actually, is able to do so. Not able to knock it out. That's what I meant to say. So an Aerial Ace comes out from this Jumpluff into that Cherrim. Super effective damage. Out comes Mantine. Fantastic switch. Obviously, you don't want to be hit by a Solar Beam. I would have went for the Aerial Ace. I would have went for it because this Bubble Beam is not going to be enough. Now, whether or not it looks like he could have gotten to that. But but maybe he was afraid he wouldn't be able to before the Solar Beam came out, so it made a lot of sense. Plus, he's able to actually survive that, so that was probably the correct play. Either play would have been good, but that was definitely a good play. So going to lower the attack on Azumarill now against, yeah, with Mantine's Bubble Beam. Just wants to get the attack as low as possible so we can come in and finish off the game. Going to be finishing it off anyway, but this Mantine is going to collapse from this Ice Beam, totally fine. In comes Jumpluff. Again, didn't have to lower the attack, could have taken this Ice Beam, but you might as well. So this Ice Beam is going to come through, and it's going to do a lot, but Jumpluff is just a monster, an absolute beast, and is able to take it. So Jumpluff going to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace to knock out the Azumarill. And we'll have to see, so that's a good game. So we're going to jump into the next game. Going to be Blaziken versus Cherrim. So this Cherrim is going to bail as expected into Stunfisk. Blaziken switches into Jumpluff. So wants to go for the Energy Ball. Stunfisk going to go ahead and go for Discharge. Not going to do much. It is neutral, but it doesn't do much to a Jumpluff. Jumpluff is going to continue to farm up. This Jumpluff is going to be hit by a Charge attack. Going to be a Discharge. And the Energy Ball does come through. So let's see. It's going to probably connect. Yep, going to connect. I thought the opponent would let that go through just because the Jumpluff is generally going to win this matchup anyway, even if you invest shields. So Jumpluff going to go for the Aerial Ace to finish off the Stunfisk. Well, actually, never mind. That Aerial Ace is resisted, and it's not enough to knock out Stunfisk. Discharge coming through, and Jumpluff is going to be able to farm down with Bullet Seed. In comes Ferrothorn. Okay, so going to just do as much damage as possible with the Aerial Ace attacks. Aerial Ace going to be neutral. So we'll have to see what comes in, what attack this Ferrothorn decides to go for. Jumpluff will go for the shield. And not going to pick up the shield, okay. Trying to, wow, this Jumpluff already knocked out a Pokemon and is still continuing to wreak havoc against this Ferrothorn. It will not go down. It still didn't go down. And there's another Aerial Ace coming through against this Ferrothorn. So really great Pokemon. Look how low that Ferrothorn got. I understand not wanting to shield an Aerial Ace though. It's like, so in comes Cherrim, out comes Blaziken to catch this Weather Ball. Fantastic switch, beautiful switch on HotPocket's end. So we'll have to see, probably going to go for a Blaze Kick, farming up a lot of energy because he knows he can, right? So going to go ahead and go for this Charge attack. That will be shielded. It's like you don't want to shield that, but at the same time, you really have to if you're the Cherrim, right? Another Blaze Kick going to be shielded, so picking up both shields. This could be a Solar Beam. That honestly would probably be enough to knock out the Blaziken. It's going to be a Weather Ball, so it's a nice bait on the opponent's end. You probably shield this, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I guess you don't. Okay, so Weather Ball not going to be enough to knock it out. In comes Ferrothorn, and now you shield. Okay, now you shield the Power Whip, and you're going to be able to farm down this Ferrothorn and go for a Blast Burn or a Blaze Kick. Doesn't matter. And you could knock out this Cherrim. So fantastic, able to win that and jumping into the final round. The opponent is running Galvantula, Sunny Cast Form, Breloom, Credilli, Mantine, and Azumarill, and this is against Dunebug, who is a very powerful trainer. I battled him once in the Go Battle League. I've seen him featured on King's channel, the opponent, so this is definitely going to be a great match. So Ferrothorn versus Credilli. So Credilli is another Bullet Seed user, a fantastic Pokemon. The Flash Cannon coming out, that will be shielded by Dunebug. And Dunebug going to go ahead and go for a Charge attack. Let's see what it's going to be. I'm not too familiar with Credilli, honestly. I know it's good, but Ferrothorn is able to resist. And it's going to go ahead and go for the Flash Cannon. Going to be doing a lot of damage. If not, maybe enough to knock it out. But the Credilli shields, I don't know if it's enough. Probably, I don't know. Flash Cannon's a powerful move. So Stone Edge not going to connect, and it looks like he wants to shield, or not, maybe expecting the switch on Dunebug's end. So Dunebug going to go ahead and go for another Charge attack. HotPocket will opt to shield this attack, Stone Edge, because he wants to get to a Flash Cannon, although Mantine comes in comes Ampharos. So beautiful. Ampharos is just going to devastate this Mantine. It does go for a Thunder Punch, and that will be enough to knock out that Mantine. So we'll have to see what comes in. This Mantine definitely charging up quite a bit of energy. In comes that Credilli trying to go for a Focus Blast. Does that have any more shield? He could get to it. He can get to it. I was like, can he get to it? Or is that Credilli gonna get to a charge attack, but no, Focus Blast comes out, enough to knock out that Credilli easily. In comes Breloom, so a nice spicy pick. Just gonna go ahead and go straight Thunder Punch. It is resisted, but we know how glassy Breloom is. It's such a glass cannon, so it's going to go ahead and go for a charge attack. Obviously, this is going to knock out Ampharos. Going to be that C-Bomb. Never mind, he undercharged it. So nice play on Dunebug's end, but Blaziken comes in to feint down. So jumping into the next game. So it's Ampharos. It's the Electric Boys. Ampharos versus Galvantula. So we'll have to see who wins this matchup. Ampharos is going to opt to shield this discharge, not wanting to be hit by it. Gonna go ahead and go for a discharge of his own. Let's see if Dunebug decides to shield this one up. He does. So Ampharos switches in to Ferrothorn. Out comes Breloom. So Breloom doing a lot with that counter attack. This Flash Cannon, you might shield this. We'll have to see. You could shield it. Yep, Breloom gonna shield. As I said, it's a glass cannon. Probably wants to farm down Ferrothorn. Yep, gonna go ahead and easily farm that down. Loaded on energy. Yes, it's true, Breloom is a glass cannon, but it's also super powerful as well. It has a high attack. So Blaziken is gonna go ahead and shield that Seed Bomb. Could have been a Dynamic Punch. This could be a Dynamic Punch. We'll have to see what attacks. Or Sludge Bomb. It is a Dynamic Punch. Okay, that is easily going to knock out that Blaziken. So Ampharos does go ahead and go for the Thunder Punch. Resisted, but still doing a decent amount. In comes Galvantula. Galvantula gets off a charge attack. I'm sure this is going to be a Bug Buzz. It is Bug Buzz, going to be enough to knock out Ampharos, and that's the game. So going to jump into the final game. Whoever wins this wins the tournament. So it's going to be Jumpluff against this Galvantula currently. And Jumpluff is going to go ahead and go for this Aerial Ace. Going to be neutral to the Galvantula, as we know. So doing a decent amount of damage. So Galvantula is going to go ahead and definitely fire off. Oh, Bug Buzz. Okay, it's neutral, but still wants to get off that damage. Discharge is neutral as well, but I guess Bug Buzz is probably the harder hitting move. So going to go ahead and get off that discharge, but Jumpluff shields itself. And Aerial Ace does come out from this Jumpluff, trying to knock out the Galvantula. Galvantula shields. Gonna probably farm down if you have the opponent. Yep, farms down the Jumpluff. And I'm sure, let's see what comes in. This could be a difficult match. In comes Ferrothorn. So Galvantula going for a charge attack. Going to be a Bug Buzz, I'm sure of it. Yep. Oh wow, that does a lot of damage. That does a tremendous amount of damage. So Ferrothorn going to go ahead and go for this charge attack. Going to be a Power Whip. That will be enough to knock out that Galvantula. So we'll have to see what comes in. It is going to be a Breloom. Okay, Blaziken switching out. Going to be able to do a lot of damage to this Breloom. Going to get off a Blaze Kick, which will be enough, easily enough to knock it out, but it shields itself. Trying to farm down. Oh, he switches into Credilli. Okay, that was a nice switch to try and feint down the Blaziken, but Blaziken is able to get to a Blast Burn and knock out Credilli. So he tried, but not able to do it, and yeah, HotPocket's going to win the tournament. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.